This is the story called Real Friends by Brianna, Georgia,
Lauren, Amelia,
and Lydia.
Imagine flaming buildings surrounding you while gunshots whistle through the air. Imagine the deafening noise of exploding bombs. Imagine the terror in the eyes of the bloody faces haunting you in your sleep. Imagine.
Enough! You're going to scare the life out of people.
Sorry, I was just trying to set the mood.
Will both of you stop? We have to start the story.
Back in 1943, during the middle of World War II, this story happened. It may or may not be true. Two men, an American named Tyler Lucas and an Englishman named James White, met while they were fighting the Germans in the trenches.
As the war went on, they became very close friends. Until what?
One bloody afternoon, the two were fighting in the trenches when the worst happened.
Everything went so fast, a bullet appearing out of nowhere, hitting James in the shoulder. James screaming in pain as he was hauled off to the dirty, infectious hospital.
Tyler then realized he might have just lost his best friend forever. But Tyler didn't stop fighting. He wanted to win the war for James and his country. When the war was over, Tyler returned home to America to find all the war papers piled up in his bedroom and immediately started reading. As he flipped through the papers, he noticed a familiar name, James White, the man who was his best friend during the war, on the Rest in Peace page.
He couldn't believe what he saw and just sat there in shock. At that moment, he knew he had to find the grave.
Tyler immediately started searching. He told his loving family he had to fly to England to find James's grave. The family was devastated that he had to leave again, but understood how much this meant to him. Once he arrived in England, he researched every war graveyard in the country. While he was looking for James's grave, he met a beautiful Englishwoman and a few months later got married.
After the marriage, he stopped looking for the grave so much, so he could spend more time with his young children. 20 years later, his wife died of a deadly virus, and a few years after that, his children grew up and moved away.
Now he was all alone, without his wife, without his children, and without his best friend. He started going to his wife's grave 2 times a week.
One day, after a long walk in the graveyard, he sat down on a bench to catch his breath. When he leaned back, he felt a sharp nail poking him in his back. When he turned around, to his surprise, he saw a golden plaque with this embellished on it.
James White, 1921 to 1945, buried in the Cherry Rose Graveyard. Thank you for serving our country. Rest in peace.
When Tyler saw this, he remembered his long searches in many graveyards to find his friend, and now he knew exactly where he was. Every day since then, he visited James' grave. No matter what, rain or shine, he was getting old now, and it had been 15 years ago since he sat down on that bench.
He was now 95, and his days to live were getting shorter and shorter.
One sunny morning, he took a taxi to the graveyard, bringing his wheelchair with him. When he got there, he struggled over to the grave.
He was feeling especially weak and tired that day, so he decided to take a quick snooze in the warm summer air.
And he never woke up.
So you mean he died?
Yeah, that's just how life is. And it's how the story goes.
That's a wrap.
Yeah.